Hey, thanks for stopping by Minnesota Black Robe Regiment. Make sure you're checking out the subscription button if you haven't done so already. And then if you have subscribed, check out the bell icon down there. That'll get you notifications. Like, comment, share. That's all I ask. Share it if you want to see me made fun of. I'm all right with that. I love it. I love pushback, feedback. I don't even mind disrespectful stuff, to be frank with you. I'd ask that you keep the language toned down a little bit. I just don't like it on my channel. But anyway, that aside, what do I want to talk about today? I came into this, I was ready to bring on episode 4 of Understanding Alinsky. That's coming. It's not for lack of preparedness, but there's something else on my mind today. And I think it's where we should all be leaning into right now. We should be pressing in on this particular thing. Pro Coof Jab, anti Coof Jab, whatever the case might be, we need to really be thinking about this, ladies and gentlemen. And here's why. The pressure is on. Okay. Here in the People's State of Marxisota, Tyrant Timmy, commissar of Marxisota, has said that he wants to see 70% vaccination rate and he will start lifting restrictions. Some of them have lifted already, but to really lift them, he wants to see 70%. He said he's going to end the mask mandate come July 1st, but he needs to see that 70%. What else have we been seeing? Well, in the media today and yesterday, especially, the hype is there. Ohio's governor has promised there's going to be a lottery for people who've gotten the Coof jab, right? What's that lottery? One winner. That sounds like a week. I could be off a little bit, but I don't really care at this point. One winner a week, $1 million for getting the Coof jab. And then they're also opening up this lottery to minors, and they get a 4-year scholarship if their name is drawn for college, if they've gotten the Coof jab and they can verify that. Now this goes on for a few weeks, right? And what? Well, now what? Now, well, we have other businesses like if you get the Coof jab, we're going to give you free beer. Sounds like the Shake Shack, which is, they make decent food, but they are a leftist organization business by far. There's no arguing. I mean, it'd be like arguing against Starbucks being a leftist organization. You just can't help it. Shake Shack, Starbucks, all of those. Ben and Jerry's, leftist. And Shake Shack now is offering free food to you if you can prove that you've had the Coof jab. And the governor of New York is all on board with demonstrating that. Now, sexual harassment and sexual misconduct accusations aside, Governor Cuomo, I believe you should be addressing that. Shouldn't even be in office considering what people have on the left have tried to do to people that are supposedly sexual deviants and harassers on the right. Look at what they tried to do to Brett Kavanaugh, Justice Kavanaugh, right? And here's Cuomo. Nobody's trying to get him out of office, but he's out there now eating French fries, going, "Oh, these are so good. Shake Shack's going to give you free food if you get the Coof jab." And we're seeing this over and over and over again. So let's think about this for a minute. Look, if the Coof jab was so productive, why would we be needing to encourage so many people with different incentives, right? Different incentives. Lottery, like there are people out there who maybe wouldn't have thought about it, but now the idea of winning $1 million or a scholarship, 4-year scholarship is like worth them putting their lives on the line. Okay. Free food, free beer, free drinks, free this, free that, over and over and over again. Why? In the history of all histories, when it comes to medical treatment, why is there such a push to get the Coof jab into people's bodies? Now, I'm not talking conspiracy theory here. I don't believe that there's some sort of tracking device. And I have a good friend through Facebook who told me about the magnet test that everybody's talking about. Like if you put it on the spot where you got the Coof jab, it sticks, but it won't stick anywhere else. You know what? That may or may not be true. I don't care. Okay. To me, it's not about tracking devices or tracking type metal alloys that they're injecting into your body along with the Coof jab. Look, they know where we are all the time anyway. Like, unless you have completely gone off grid, gotten rid of all of your technology, all your cell phones, all your iPads, all your laptops, all that other stuff, not accessing the internet, which if that's the case, and then you're not seeing this video, so it doesn't matter. But that being said, why the push? Why the push to get people to do this who are maybe reticent to do it in the first place? And why the overemphasis about how safe it is when we have demonstrable evidence? If you get off of Google and you get off of some of the other mainstream search engines, there's demonstrable evidence that the Coof jab is not safe. It's not safe. And there's demonstrable evidence that the Coof jab doesn't do what other vaccines purport to do. The lists are there. It won't keep you from spreading it. It won't keep you from getting sick. It won't keep you from dying. It won't keep you on and on and on and on again. Why the push for us to have this? Why is it so important to the powers that be? And don't make any mistakes. It's not just strictly leftist Democrats. There are leftist Republicans like Governor DeWine of Ohio. I mean, the man's a leftist. He is a wolf in sheep's clothing, if you will. Why this push? Why is this so important to them? And we have to ask ourselves these things. It's vitally important that we ask why all of these incentives. And I know I keep saying that because I want you to understand what do we not ask questions anymore? Had a conversation with somebody earlier today. Had a conversation with Carter from Unsafe Space a couple of weeks ago. Actually, 2 weeks ago today, I had that conversation with him. And this is something that I've been emphasizing for a very long time, both at my If Only Even One YouTube channel and here. We are not doing anything to educate people in reasoning and intellect and logic. And so where we're at now is, as a society, we blindly follow everything that we're told. We just kind of take everything in, especially if it comes from the legacy media, the cathedral media, mainstream media, whatever you want to call it. And whatever the government says to us, whatever the elected servants tell us to do, we do, and we take it blindly. So why is there such a push to get people to take this? So the CDC comes out with these new guidelines, and it draws two distinct variances. The jabbed, the Coof jabbed people, and the non-Coof jabbed people. It's a cultural divide, ladies and gentlemen. They're setting us up to see one another as the enemy. And in particular, as we've heard from our esteemed president, co-president Biden, and his co-president Harris, it's your patriotic duty to get the Coof jab. If you don't get the Coof jab, not only are you not a patriot, but you're lazy and you don't care about your neighbors. And we hear this from state to state, right? So what's the CDC say? The CDC comes out with this list of activities you can do if you've had the Coof jab, and it's everything. You can do everything. Other than certain enclosed spaces where you're packed in like sardines, other than that, you can go back to life as normal. But if you haven't had the Coof jab, things remain the same for you. Here's a question. How are they going to know? How are they going to know? Well, the FBI today came recently, and today I read about it today. The FBI came out and threatened that if you doctor a Coof jab passport, you could be facing prison time, criminal charges, criminal penalties. Why is that? They want us to sheepishly follow these Coof jab passport guidelines. Now, there are states, Florida, Governor DeSantis, saying we're not going to honor those, and we're not going to allow the enforcement of them here in Florida. And there are other states that are getting on board with that. And here's the deal. These Coof jab passports that you're going to have to present to be able to go in to buy groceries at Starbucks, or excuse me, not Starbucks, but at Trader Joe's, or Walmart's even talking about requiring it. Like, that's a violation of your privacy, people. Are you willing to give up your liberties just to be able to buy groceries? And where are you going to draw the line? Where are you going to start resisting? Oh, sure. Well, if you don't want to get the jab and you don't want to carry proof that you have the jab, then you just have to be willing to do everything online and not go in anywhere. Does that sound like a liberty-loving United States to you? Look, we're being played. We're being manipulated. We're being pitted against one another, and they're upping the ante to get more and more people on board to try and intimidate through social pressure, through Marxist pressure, to get everybody else to get the damn shot. Well, it's on you if you want to go back to normal. It's not normal, people. That's not normal. It's not normal to require somebody to get a jab in their arm for a virus that has a 99.9% survivability rate to go back to live life like you were a little over a year ago. And you just accept it. Now, some of you watching this are going, I don't, TC, I don't accept it. And I'm like glad for you that you don't. But watch your neighbors, the normies out there, the NPCs. The NPCs and the normies, they just, whatever it takes, they're willing to do now because they're fed up. And this has been their plan. You keep the pressure on, and this is a little bit about Alinsky. You keep the pressure on until people just cave in. You can't cave just to go back to normal, because at that point it's not normal. And you've demonstrated you'll do whatever they say just to have your life. But it's not a life. It's a form of slavery. It is a form of slavery, and we have to understand that. You need to say no to the Coof Jab, no matter what the incentives are. You need to say no to Coof Jab passports, no matter what they tell you. You need to fight this, and we're starting to see this as more and more people. I just read an account of not just the school board in Vail, I think it was Vail, Arizona, that the people came and they protested so much the school board just resigned and walked out, and they were able to reelect a brand new school board on the spot and do the will of the people. That's phenomenal. But there was another township, another city, where there were over 7,000 people protesting outside and people on the inside, and they had hundreds and hundreds of people signed up to speak against the measures that were going to be implemented by the city. And people stood up and said, you don't get to do this to us. In fact, there was one black gentleman who said, you want me to carry my freedom papers to travel freely. Does that sound like a free America? Look, people, when you're required to get a jab in your arm, and then there might be an incentive, like you might get some money or some free freaking French fries. But you're required to get that jab in your arm, that Coof Jab in your arm, and then carry your card to show you're a good citizen. That's not freedom. That's enslavement. So don't tell me you're doing it so we can get our liberties back. What you're doing is you're caving in so you can remain enslaved to a system that's hell-bent on your destruction. And if I sound fired up, it's because I am. I'm pissed off. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. This is ridiculous what we're willing to do at the behest of elected servants and appointed servants and bureaucrats who give not a whit about what's good for you, but only in controlling you. And you're all lined up, taking it. Oh my gosh, I need to be safe. Keep me safe, please. This is asinine. $1 million to get the Coof Jab, a free beer, a burger. You can finally shop at the store you want to shop in. You don't have to wear a mask anymore. Take it off. How are they going to know? How are they going to know? No. Unless they require you to carry your papers. And does that sound like the Soviet Union or the People's Republic? Our republic, our constitutional republic. Doesn't sound like our republic to me. That sounds like the Soviet Union. You have got to wake up before it's too late, and you find that either you are so sheepishly enslaved to the system, and that those of us who have been warning you have been carted off somewhere where we're out of sight and out of mind. You have to wake up before it's too late. Otherwise, when they're done coming for us, it'll be you It'll be you, because at some point you're either going to draw a line and say, I'm not crossing it anymore. I'm not backing up anymore. Or you'll start turning in your neighbors because they don't have the Coof Jab. Wake up, America. Wake up. This is sickening. And if you do something just to get the possibility of winning, you've already lost. It may be too late. Until next time, 6 September.